So,
Yeah.
I've been thinking.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my resolution was to do something with double knitting.
Yes.
And if you remember,
Oh no.
there was that time that I said I would take any extra acrylic yarn because I needed to make a blanket to fit that I could use with the dog. If you don't remember, that's fine.
I remember you talking about it, but I don't remember to use with the dog part. What's that?
Oh, I said just like a blanket that I can use with the boys, and you're like, who are the boys? And I said the dog and the cat, and there was that.
Okay.
It was just, you know, it's like I have all these nice, lovely, like, scrap blankets that are made out of
Right.
wool.
Right. Yeah.
But I would like a blanket that I
Okay.
can wash.
So yes.
So
I don't know if I love those two things together, but keep going.
Right? I
Uh-huh.
know. Yeah.
I mean,
so
for you.
I was looking through Ravelry and my wonderful favorites board, or favorites. Are they boards?
Collection.
Like,
No,
whatever.
I don't
know.
Yeah, favorites. Okay, you're looking through your
I
favorites.
was looking at bundles. There we are. I was looking through my favorite bundles.
Oh boy.
And there's one called Death by Double Knitting. But if you remember way back a few years ago, there was always the Geek-A-Long double knitting.
Oh yeah.
Right? And they're like really cool
They are.
patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And what's her name? Llamas and lattes?
That's a great name.
Something like that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot for the movies and TV shows that we like.
Oh no.
So then it popped into my head. Like, I was kind of fighting myself for a while. Like, I really don't want to make a whole double knitting blanket.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand,
You kind of do though.
I kind of do though. And
Kinda
also,
do.
why not? And also, I want a blanket.
You do.
I do want a blanket. So yeah, that's where we're at. Now, as far as like actual yarn, I don't know. Because I kind of don't want to just get like acrylic yarn because like it's also an issue of like I don't want to have to get 57,000 colors
Right.
and like overload everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I was kind of thinking of just getting like an earth tone rainbow and then just it'll be close enough.
Okay.
You know. I don't know.
I feel like I need to see the patterns to weigh in on the colors. But a double knitted blanket.
Double knitted patchwork blanket. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because that's the thing. Like the double knitting patterns, there are a lot of double knitting patterns, and that's fine. There's a lot of them, and that's great. But
There's
the ones that
something
like
for everyone.
really jump out at me are like the big giant scarves, and they're knit on like fingering weight yarn with size ones.
They are.
And that is not gonna happen.
Okay.
But I also feel bad going and making like one square and being like, yay, New Year's resolution
I did
completed.
it.
And
Yeah.
here's this square that I
Okay.
like have no purpose for. Yeah. So that might end up being a thing.
I think this is a good banana.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
And it's one of those things. But it's, the other thing is I'm going to have to finish some things because I have a whole 7 whips. And as you know, if I have more than 7, then I have to eat licorice.
That is true.
So.
And not the good kind.
Not the good kind, no.
The bad
So
kind.
I'm going to have to finish some projects, which is not a big deal, before I can start. So.
Well, you just cast on what a hat yesterday?
Yeah, I cast on a hat yesterday, and I casted on some sport DK weight socks on like Friday.
Okay.
So those are almost done. The socks actually are almost done on sock number 2.
Today being Sunday, for the record.
Today being Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
But they're also on size 3 needles, so
Right. Okay. So, yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's fine.
like speed stocking.
Yeah, like the
Okay.
whole leg is,
Okay.
I think, 30 rows.
All right.
It's DK, it's fine. So yeah, so that's a thing.
So that's the plan.
That's a thing. Well,
Okay.
plan might be a bit much. We don't
Ooh.
need Moss to get out the giant glasses. But, yeah, that is definitely what I've been thinking about.
Okay.
We'll see if it turns into anything.
Nice.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on my double knitting project. By the way, this is Oliver. he is my dragon. He watches over my yarn. So I know his tail has been poking through in some other videos. Anyway, I ordered yarn and it has arrived, and so now we're going to go through that. This is all going to go into the Geek-A-Long double knitting blanket, and it is all Plymouth Encore in just a variety of colors. What I decided to do, I got a general version of each particular color. So I have a red, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, black, white, and then I have 2 browns, which was an accident. I need to get a gray. And then hopefully with this, I'll just be able to take on most of the different logos and things that I have that lattes and llamas that she has in all of her color work. There will be a few things that I don't have. Nothing is going to be the right colors, but hopefully they'll be right enough. All right, so the first one I have is our orange. I could have done this in order, but I'm just not that organized. Okay, so this is orange. This is pumpkin pie. I am using some of my leftovers from the Alice hoodie. So this is my denim heather. I have, what is this? 1444, which is coffee. 174, which is cranberry. I've got 1445 in burnished heather. 9806 in regal purple. 208, and I believe this one is just white. Just white here. And then I have 217, a little bit stuck. 217, this is just black. Again, I still need to get a gray because there's definitely some projects that I'm going to need a gray for. And then I have, these are already in progress, so they're a little difficult, but I've got 204 hunter green and 215, which is just yellow. Just yellow. And then currently, you know, I started with the Lord of the Rings, and so I am starting on that one. I've made it through about 20 rows or so of the double knitting, and this is what we are getting so far. There we go. So this is my block. It's going to be about a foot wide. It's about a foot and a half wide, each different block. So the way this is going to work, the reason that I have the Plymouth Encore, hold on, I'm going to put all this back in my bag so that I can actually talk here. The reason that I'm going with the Plymouth Encore is so that I can have a blanket to sit with the animals on the couch, right? Klaus has showed up in a video before. I also have a cat. There's just animals everywhere. So I want to have, you know, a nice couch appropriate blanket that I'm not afraid to wash. So that's why the Plymouth Encore happened. That also means it's going to be designed as a horizontal blanket. So generally this pattern works as a vertical blanket where you've got these long, effectively panels or stacks of all of these blocks. And so it would make the most sense and be most like the original pattern. Sorry, I'm just sticking out all my yarn back in my bag here. It'd be most like the original pattern if I were to have 4 different stacks of 6 blocks that each work with the different shows that we're looking at, but I'm actually going to do 6 stacks of 4 so that it is more horizontal. Some of the things are not going to be included. They're not already going to have blocks made for them because they're a little bit newer than the shows and things, or just it was something that the original designer just didn't get to, which is totally fine. So there's enough consistency that I know what size the block is if I need to make my own. So yeah, starting with the Lord of the Rings, then we're gonna go into our other things. I'll give you guys updates as we're going on, but I have yarn. It is happening. You now know Oliver. I think that is where we're at for this banana breakdown right now and an update on double knitting resolutions. So there we go. Wish me luck. So this is Boris. He has decided he also needs to be bananas and hang out with the Plymouth yarn. Yeah, I don't know. He's checking it out. Seems to meet with his approval. It has come to our attention that Stephanie and I might not be particularly objective when it comes to green lighting these banana projects. The banana projects being things that are too big or we really don't have time to be doing right now. So we are taking this time to introduce our new associate. This is Banana Bruton Gaster, and he is going to be approving all of our bananas and checking in on us, making sure we don't bite off more than we can chew. Okay, here is the update on the Geek-A-Long blanket. We've got Lord of the Rings and then the TARDIS from Doctor Who. The order is going to be a little bit different than what comes up on the YouTube channel because I'm doing them in the order that we actually watched them. So not everything comes out in the same order between projects and things like that. So that's where I'm currently at. There's a lot more to go. I'm working in a panel here because, you know, I'm not trying to match colors or anything. I'm just doing in the order that we watch them. So I'm going to do 6 panels of 5. Klaus says hi. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated. This is where I'm currently at. And here is Bruton approving my blocks. We've got him looking at Lord of the Rings and now the full panel so far. So far, so good. I'll keep you updated.